So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Waverley Basketball Stadium for this state championship men's game between the Waverley Falcons and the Whittlesea Pacers. And with me today I have got
Hugh and Jake.
And Jake from the Ashy Basketball Club, who are coming along today to help out. And up on the camera there is Xander's bringing you the shots today from the camera as he smiles for everything. And we'll be getting going in about 3.5 minutes time. Of course, interesting game tonight. Whittlesea. Let's start with Whittlesea. They, of course, have had a bit of a rugged season, because what's happened to them is that their star import, Jermaine Williams, has done his knee a number of weeks ago, and so he's where they'd been coming in and challenging really hard for a position in the top 4, top 5. They're now struggling to stay in touch with the leaders, but they've got a lot of experience on their team there. They have, of course, Michael Petrides, who's been floating around the league for quite some time. Jason Dirks, expect those two to figure prominently for them along the way. And their new import, they've picked up a new import who I'll get back to you on in a minute. I can't see his number at this point in time, but he's only played, I think, 1 or 2 games for them, so he's still finding his feet with the guys. On the outs for Whittlesea, number 32, Terry Degani, the young 22-year-old, is out for this particular game. For the Falcons, well, it's the experienced squad in there, and they're travelling quite nicely, sitting 3rd on the ladder at the moment. Sitting behind Ringwood and Corio Bay with a 16-2 record, so they've only lost 2 games. But crucially, out for them tonight is Brad Kelleher, who has been one of their leading scorers over the last couple of weeks. However, expect a big game from the Falcons' Ivan Platnik, who makes his 250th game appearance today for the Falcons. He's just received an award for that from the president of the Waverley Basketball Association, Mike Bullock. And we're about ready to go. Apologise for the late start, ladies and gentlemen. The state championship youth men finished a little bit late, and getting the game going takes some time. So fantastic game there, Hugh.
Yep.
Waverley got up over Geelong.
Yep. Well, and they dominated. At the end, scores were 102 for the Falcons, high scoring game, and for Geelong, I can't remember. It was
almost it was almost a 50-point margin in the end. But there's some good signs there for Geelong, particularly Riley Herbert, who is Nathan Herbert's cousin. It turns out it's actually his cousin. But they were looking pretty good there. As we're about to get underway here at the Falcons' Nest.
And Tom Boyle taking the tip off.
Yeah. And we're good to go. Good to go. Matthew Dirks to Petrides.
Pacers with the early lead. Fret bring the ball up as his usual job.
Damien O'Keefe, lovely layup there.
Sorry, that was to Gim Piccolo. Both Petrides and Piccolo are wearing beards. Makes them look somewhat similar at the moment.
Yep.
As Ivan Platnik puts it up,
Nielsen trying to get the ball back, but out of court.
Nielsen had a great game last game, 20 points last week. Threat taking on.
And a missed. Unlucky there by Fred.
Great move though, great moves. Cut through the defenders like butter. So Whittlesea kicking the ball around.
The young Matthew Dirks.
And then we have Platnick.
So Platnick into the game already.
Fred, he's lucky there that Platnick is up, and
that's the second miss from Platnick.
He's not looking too happy about that.
Well, that's one thing about Ivan. You'll notice that he gets quite stuck into himself when he misses a shot, so he always looks unhappy if he misses.
He's also a bit of a flat shooter, as we were saying last game.
Yeah, great basket there in the end from Jim Piccolo.
And Pacers are doing well against the Falcons.
So they're out to a 4-point lead.
Threat bringing up the ball. Lovely layup by Platnick.
So the ball into Jim Piccolo, goes back there to Petrides.
Lovely rejection by Platnick.
Over to Nielsen.
Nielsen past the Fret and back to Nielsen. He's not going to just make the free. And
there's a foul on the import for Werribee. It's Chris Knight. Chris Knight. He's also received a warning there from the ref as well.
Platnick's not very happy.
And Arkell almost with the basket, but Petrides there with the quick hands. Another rebound there to Platnick. He's already in the picking up the stats as Arkell goes back down the other end. He's on the end of that pass from Platnick. Great defense from Threat.
Number 4 for the Pacers is having a great game.
Matthew Dirks.
Yep, number 4.
And Arkell with the block.
The 22-year-old.
Oh, Granger misses the free. He usually makes those.
That was Arkell.
Was it?
Yeah, so those.
And a shot.
Yeah, and that's from Petrides.
Dirks defending Fret.
So a big shout out to all the people from Nelson in New Zealand that are watching. And we apologise to those guys who normally would watch the HTML5 stream for iOS. We've got some problems there with our supplier. As Chris Knight picks up a second foul. This time it's a charge.
Chris Knight is a footy player, but he's not very good. He's never on, never seen him.
Yeah, as Knight sits down, Rossmole gives him a bit of a break, and on comes Chris Bateman.
Threats are playing great first half, like usual. Always bringing up the ball.
Tom Boyle from the corner misses. Falcons shooting has been a little bit cold at the moment, as there's another. Jim Piccolo picks up another 2 points.
Scores are Waverley 4 points,
Arkell
and Visit and Whittlesea 9 points.
Platnick looks a bit happier now.
Yep, as his little floater there went in, so it's a 3-point ball game, 6-9. Tom Boyle with the intercept, and there's a charge there against Threat. This time on Jason Dirks. Jason Dirks also one of the key players for Whittlesea. He also has been having quite a good season.
Now Brad Bridgewater, the big boy, is on.
And nearly out. Missed
Nielsen.
a shot. Nielsen with another rebound. Or is that his first? And it's foul. Arkell into Fret. Bridgewater's looking for a jam.
Gets the ball inside over to Platnick. Platnick pops it in. It's a 1-point game as Arkell gets the steal and the conversion. Falcons out to the first lead of the game. It's a 1-point game to the Falcons. Matthew Dirks. Over to Gian Piccolo. Yeah, Gian Piccolo.
Yep.
Out to Petrides. Back in to Petrides. He comes off the screen. Over the top of Bridgewater. Doesn't go, but Threat gets the rebound.
Threat. Bridgewater's looking for it and gets the goal and the foul.
Now that puts the Falcons in the bonus now as well. So so this is quite a worrying sign for Whittlesea at this point in time. They can't afford to send these guys to the line.
And Bridgewater gets a 3-point play.
Yep.
Dirks bringing up the ball like a threat.
Lovely defending by Fret. Great pressure. The Falcons coach is giving some instructions to Bridgewater.
Nielsen just makes it. And a fake and a turnover to Platnick. Arkell, Nielsen, fake. And another fake to Arkell. Arkell is going to shoot the free. And he's going to miss it.
Bridgewater missed the rebound. Instead, it's with Matthew Dirks. Matthew Dirks drives hard, kicks it back out there to
and
Bateman.
Rejected by Arkell.
And it's a timeout now to the Pacers. And we'll be back in 30 seconds or so after a word from our sponsor. Okay, so with the Falcons out to a very quick 15-9 lead, 3:33 on the game clock there, Hugh.
Yep.
And the Pacers have put the Falcons into the bonus. This is a bit of a concern for them, I would suspect.
Yeah, and we'll hope that the Pacers will keep fouling so the Falcons can get some more goals. And Pacers were winning before by, I think it was 4-0, 6-0, and Falcons has had a comeback. And
as I was saying before, a big shout out to the guys from Nelson in New Zealand with Ali Granger's family and friends over there. If you are watching on the HTML only stream, we apologise, but we've had some issues with our provider today. So the flash stream is going. Mind you, if you have been watching the, trying to watch the other stream, you wouldn't hear this because it's not working. As the ball goes into Bridgewater, back out to Threat, into Platnick. Now back out to Threat. Threat's three-point attempt is good.
Threat is not usually the three-pointer shooter, but this time he is.
Back with Dirks.
Now.
Dirks to Dirks it was. Back into Dirks. He spins, can't get past, but he finds his teammate Bateman under the basket.
The Dirks brothers have been playing a wonderful game.
Yeah.
Platnick and makes it.
That was too easy there for Ivan. Great
Yeah.
little pass in there from Threat.
What Pacers need to do a lot more pressure. The Falcons are getting goals way too easy.
There's Petridis. Ex-Hume City, Michael Petridis.
And a spin, and a pass, and an Arkell, and a miss.
Bridgewater with the recover.
Some fancy moves by Fred, and he gets it.
So another three-point attempt from Petridis, not good.
Fred, and he's looking. He doesn't take the screen. Arkell.
Arkell is cold tonight. Chris Arkell, the last 3 weeks has been absolutely on fire. He's been putting up huge numbers in the low 20s and sometimes the high 20s, but he's just a little bit flat tonight. As Tom Boyle attempts to get the ball into Brad Bridgewater, but Bridgewater is fouled and will go to the line. Looks like it was on Chris Petroro.
Last week or the week before, I remember Bridgewater getting an air ball and a ring. Let's hope he doesn't get that. There's a ring.
So Falcons out 23-11.
Brad Bridgewater reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal. He's not very good on the free-throw line, but he's a very good player.
I think you'd find that Brad is pretty good. As Ali Granger, having come on during that break, gets the steal, gets it across to Alistair Campbell. Campbell into Arkell. Arkell turns the corner and makes the basket.
That's a thanks to a Campbell for a goal.
So I think this is the first time. Those of you in New Zealand, stand up and shout, wave your silver fern flags, because that's the first time I've seen Ali Granger getting on the court in the first quarter this season. As the Falcons go to the break with a 25-11 lead, and we'll be back ever so shortly to take you through some of the stats. See you in a short while. ladies and gentlemen, and what we'll do is we'll run you through some of the leading scorers for the game so far. And my comrade in arms here will run you through the leading scorers for the, first of all, the rebounds and assists.
So, Waverley Falcons' Ivan Platnik has scored the high
8 points.
8 points, and
Matthew Giampicolo for the Pacers is on 6, whereas for the rebounds for the Falcons, it's Luke Nielsen.
Luke Nielsen with 4 rebounds.
And over for the Pacers, it's Matthew
Dirks. And with 2 rebounds, and for assists,
Sadell Threat. Sadell
Threat with 3 assists, and for
Jason Dirks.
And for Whittlesea, Jason Dirks with 2 assists. For blocks, Arkell with 2 blocks, and
Petridis for 1. So it's been quite a fast-paced opening to the game so far. As we restart in the second quarter, Falcons, of course, came out a little bit slowly. Whittlesea getting out to a 6-point lead at one stage. They were threatening to blow it away, and the Falcons just started to put their foot down. As Platinum gets the ball on the block, can't get the ball out.
Steal by Chris
Adrian Campbell.
And great steal by Chris Petroro.
So back with Petroro. Ali Granger playing D on him. And we'd like to welcome Ali's parents who are over here in the audience today. The audience is actually quite a good crowd. Got about 115 in the house at the moment. Of course, today is the Ashe Basketball Club's function. They're all along to support us, so our camera crew, as Chris Arkell hits another 3. Our camera crew, our court attendants, and a halftime entertainment, all supplied by the Ashe Basketball Club.
Great rebound by Chris Arkell.
And Ali Granger hits 2 points. He's on the board. He's got a steal. He's got a score. And the foul from Chris Arkell. Falcons have picked up a few quick fouls there. Whittlesea not able to take advantage of it though. That's Riley Johnson at the line. He hits the second. And there's a sub coming in for Whittlesea as Jason Dirks sits down. Matthew Falk comes on in his place. Adrian Campbell. Across to Platnik. Platnik into Arkell. Arkell can't get the ball to go down as Petridis works hard on him and ends up with the rebound. Gets it across to Falk. It's back out to Petridis, and Petridis' 3-point attempt doesn't go. Normally a good 3-point shooter, Michael Petridis. He's very much the team leader on this Whittlesea team at the moment.
And great three by Brendan Hughes.
So it's a very young Pacers team. The average age here would, if we take Petrides out, the average age would be around 22.
27 round there.
So Petrides lifts that up to about 25 on his own. But the way he's playing, he's got another couple of years in him, I'd say.
Foot violation from
the Whittlesea Pacers. Yep, it's come off them. So it's a Falcons ball. Another foot violation.
great moves by Seedale Threat.
Another turnover.
Great steal by Seedale Threat again.
Out to Tom Boyle. Oh, Tom Boyle.
Air ball.
Yeah.
Air ball for 3. The coach gets very angry.
Yeah, that wasn't the play that Andy Sherwell was wanting to see from the Falcons there. Turnover to Whittlesea. It's back out to Falk. Over to Petrides. 3-point attempt from Petroro, no good. Seedale Threat ends up with the ball. He spins. Petroro too slow. Seedale Threat. Oh, great move there. Great move from Tom Boyle there.
But he
tips it in. The points are good, and then there's a foul after the shot. So Tom has been called for the foul.
And he's not very happy with that.
So fantastic tip in there from Tom. As we get Matthew Dirks back on the court. Petroro sitting down. Ball's back out. Through hands. Back with Dirks. He finds some space for himself and puts it up for a 2-point shot. So again, another turnover to the from the Falcons. 36-16, 5:42 on the game clock.
And here's Matthew Dirks bringing down the ball.
Petrides working hard on the outside there, but Dirks puts the shot up, doesn't go. From Bridgewater to Nielsen to Threat. Threat settles it down to Arkell. Platnick back to Threat. Threat looks at the shot, decides against it. There's 10 seconds. Arkell, 3-point attempt doesn't go, but it's tipped back out there to to threat. And Platnick going in under the basket is fouled, and he'll go to the line for two shots.
Cedar Threat and Ivan Platnick are playing a fantastic game.
Ivan gets his first. Coaches over the years have wanted their players to foul Ivan when he's shooting because he traditionally has not been known as a good foul shooter. But particularly over the last 5 years, he's turned that right around. And even though he only converted 1 out of the 2 there, you don't want to let him go to the basket.
Ivanik and Arkell are leading the scores with 9 points each.
Well, as Arkell just gets the tip in there off that shot. Takes him to 11. Dirks, Jason that is back on the floor, goes to the basket, and is blocked there by Brad Bridgewater. Huge block.
It's like a Dwight Howard rejection.
As the Whittlesea Pacers calls a timeout, and we'll also take a timeout, and we'll be back in a very short period of time. And we've reconvened play here at the Falcons' Nest as the Pacers pick up 2 quick points. Yeah. And a substitution for the Falcons as Luke Nielsen comes off the floor and Elias Palianis comes on. Elias, of course, is a specialty three-point shooter. If he's given the opportunity, he will simply put them into the basket. As great pass there from Sedell Threat into Platnick. Draws a foul, and Ivan again goes back to the line. Yep. Ivan picks up his first. Misses the second. He's shooting 50% at the moment. Almost loses the ball. Gets it back into Bridgewater. Bridgewater, little roll, doesn't go. And Elias Palianis, a little bit of defense there as the ball comes in for the Whittlesea Pacers. And Elias Palianis for three. There's a bit of frustration creeping into the game from Whittlesea's part. There's some stuff happening behind the play there that the refs, I think, will soon get onto. As Jason Dirks misses his shot. Sadell Threat bringing the ball back down, guarded by Matthew Dirks. Into Platnick. Platnick on Jason Dirks, and Dirks fouls. So Ivan had a bit of a mismatch on him there. The Ross Knowles got quite a small team on the court. Ivan gets his first. And second. Matthew Dirks into Jim Piccolo. Into Jason Dirks. And the foul there on, looks to be on Tom Boyle. That's his and Jason converts. So it's a 45-23 point game to the Falcons as Elias Palianis finds Threat. It's back to Palianis into Bridgewater. Bridgewater out to Boyle. Boyle doesn't hit the target. And Jason Dirks has a foot race against Bridgewater, which he wins. And he's put another 2 points in there. So this man is very dangerous. If he latches onto a few, all of a sudden that gap, 20-point gap, could narrow very quickly. And Jim Piccolo picks up a foul and then an unsportsmanlike. And he's still chatting to Threat. So Jim Piccolo again has been working hard behind play, but some of his work has been somewhat over-enthusiastic would be the best term. And it looks like that Riley Johnson will in fact come on to replace, I would be betting Jim Piccolo. As Threat gets another couple of shots. Misses that first one. Makes the third. So 3 points out of that. 2 fouls there. And Jim Piccolo sits down. Ross Moll, the coach, is not looking impressed with him. Threat with the ball from the restart. Nielsen's come back on. And Threat there has been picked for an offensive foul, elbow. So refs being consistent at the moment, making certain that both teams are aware that they're not going to allow the swinging elbow. Petrides against Arkell. Goes into Matthew Dirks back to his brother Jason. Tom Boyle with good hands gets the intercept. Nielsen to Arkell. Great transition basketball there from the Falcons. Nielsen guarding Dirks. 3-point attempt there from O'Keefe, not good. Bridgewater with the rebound. Now it's Siddell Threat and Petrides got up off the ground and had no control at all, but has fouled Threat. So Threat will be subbed if he's successful. And Ali Granger, the boy from Nelson, New Zealand, will be coming on for another run. And Threat is successful with both of those shots. On comes Ali with 44 seconds left in the half. After which, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a green and gold game from the Ashe Basketball Club. As Petrides drives, his floater doesn't go. And the refs have found a foul under the baskets. Brad Bridgewater being picked for that one. And that puts Riley Johnson at the line. Makes his first. And the second. 52-27 as Tom Boyle gets the ball to Arkell. Training run on that particular case. 3 passes down the court. Falcons extending their D. Not wanting to allow a 3-point shot. Petrides against Arkell. Bridgewater gets in the way and clogs the lanes. Ali Granger with the rebound. And it's a great move. So now we've got as the Falcons go to the half with a 54-27 lead. We're going to be having a short intermission game with the Ashe Basketball Club in a little green and gold game. So remember, you've got to keep them in the frame. Don't allow it to drift up and watch the ceiling. So we don't want to see the signs down the end there. We don't want to see above those signs. Always keep it below the sign. Good boy. Dad can come up and help. He can always come and help. So the first attempt from from Gold, no good as Green comes back. Young 40, good pass across there. And still good rebound. Good rebound from Gold, and Gold almost makes a basket. So it's a goal ball. They kick the ball through hands. Misses the shot.
Passes out. Up for the shot. Oh no. Gold has it. Getting the ball across. Up for the shot. Oh, but misses.
And there's a foul there. Foul on the shot.
2 shots.
Subs in for Gold.
Number 11, Braden, has his 2 shots.
Misses the first. Gets the second. So Gold is in the lead. 1 point to 0. One goal.
Oh,
Good
Jackie.
defense there.
Oh, but misses. Can he make it? No. But he misses the shot and miss. Oh, but misses.
Good spin move though.
Passes it back in. Great shoots it. Oh, and he sinks it.
So 2-1. Green up.
Oh, and it's gone out. And makes it! Hugh Lucas comes on. Passes it out. Shoots. Misses.
Great rebound there from Gold. They need to move the ball quickly through hands as they do that, and the shot comes up, misses. Great rebound, and they're back in there, so it's a 1 point game. Green up as Hugh drives, crosses over, finds the pass.
Puts it up.
In and out.
Misses. Over here we have some great shooters. The Gold. Can they make it? No. It is rejected. Pass to Hugh Lucas. He passes it over to Morgan. Morgan slows it down. Over. Morgan.
Yellow coming back down hard. They've got a loose man. He stops, finds the basket,
Yes.
and they take a lead. They take a lead. And the ref is trying to work out what he's doing. Oh, subs are in. Subs are in. They've got about a minute to go in this game. Can Green get up? In and out. Great rebound there from Green.
And Green are in the lead. Can they keep it? Can they keep it? Oh, but the Gold has it, Gold has it, Gold has it. He dribbles. He passes it, shoots, and they're in the lead again. 7-6.
Clock is counting down now here for the guys as Hugh picks up a rebound, an intercept.
Oh, but
Pass,
Braden has it.
out of the pass, not good enough though. Braden,
Tries to shoot it. He can't make it though.
it's a yellow ball, gold ball. Gold holding on to the lead. They don't really need to shoot here. Almost intercepted by Green. Braden comes in. Nearly there. It's Green rebound. Intercept by Yellow. It's a green ball. They got 15 seconds to go.
Huey Lucas.
And that's the game.
Gold
Gold.
by a point. 6-7.
Ah, look at that. That is fantastic. The Falcons players coming out there, high-fiving, appreciating that effort from the young fellas.
Yes, very good.
This is what it's all about, folks. What you saw there is the next generation of the Falcons coming through. Great effort there from both teams. As we go for a short break, and we'll be back in the next minute or so. And we're back, and we're back welcoming Hugh after his little run around there.
Yep.
Not quite good enough. Gold got over you by a 1 point, 6-7 there. But you know, not bad for a very quick effort from you guys. So
Yep.
great job from the Ashley Basketball Club. And we thank them for their support of the Waverley Falcons State Championship men and Youth League men today. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Girls Got Game game. An initiative of the VJBL, Victorian Junior Basketball League. This year they've brought in the Girls Got Game concept to try and encourage a lot more participation from girls in the sport. The big issue, of course, that we have here in Australia is the number of girls who drop out of playing any kind of organised sport in the last couple of years of high school. So we're trying. So the Girls Got Game program is trying to get them to stay on it in organised sport, to give them the opportunity, and also to acknowledge the great efforts of all of the female athletes support staff, and of course the referees. And today, of course, we've got one of those. We have a female ref in our BigV game, so right there on screen. Well done. So Hugh, welcome back. What do you think will happen in this second half?
I reckon Falcons are still going to win, but I reckon the Pacers, they might have a bit of a comeback at the end, and it might be maybe 20 to 10 point game.
So it's just under a 20-point game at the moment. You're suggesting that that the Pacers will get it back within 10. I think you've got a good chance on that, provided they don't get into foul trouble early in this quarter. If they do, I think that's all over. As then Chris Knight puts the first points for the half on the board. Tom Boyle spots up for a three and makes it.
And we have Dirks, one of the Dirks brothers, dribbling up the ball and up to the other Dirks, and one of the Beard.
Yeah, Jim Piccolo.
Yep. And then we have Chris Knight off to Dirks again.
So both Knights and Jim Piccolo in foul trouble.
Yep.
And Jim Piccolo swamped by the Falcons players, doesn't get the ball up, and it's a 24-second violation. Threat has Boyle on the outside. Platnick, and there's the foul. So it's Jeff Piccolo, picks up another one. That's his fourth. Great screen there from Ivan. Ball goes into him at the post. He kicks it across to Nielsen. Nielsen's three doesn't go, but Platnick picks up the rebound. It's 2 rebounds and converts.
Dirk's bringing up the ball, looking for a pass.
Gets it into
and
Jim
he
Piccolo.
finds it. And Fred was looking for a charging foul before.
Yeah, that was good refereeing there.
Yeah.
Because he should have held his feet. In fact, he was lucky not to get a warning for a flop there.
Yep.
But Nielsen has been fouled and he goes to the line.
I think he's going for 3-point play here.
And he gets his first.
Oh no, he's not going for 3-point play.
60-29. Gets the second. And Jim Piccolo sits down.
We have Dirks back up. Found Knights.
Over to the other Dirks. This is Jason going to the basket. Reverse layup doesn't go. Tom Boyle with the rebound out to Siddell Threat. Threat will slow it down.
And he's done it himself but missed. Dirks to Dirks. And Dirks, not the best pass.
If there were only a few more of them, we'd only have to learn one player.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're setting up for a play here. Arkell gets fouled on the rebound.
So Matthew Dirks picks up a foul there. Paying a bit too close attention there to Sedell Threat. Threat a bit too wily there for the youngster. Nielsen to Threat.
Oh,
Doesn't
nearly
go.
makes his other
Arkell
free.
with the rebound. Arkell's shot doesn't go either. Petridis picks it up. Now it's down to Jason Dirks. Can't go. Chris Knight picks up the rebound though and puts it in.
Sedell Threat slows it down and finds a pass off to Platnick. Platnick finds the shot that has gone in. Dirks looking for a pass around the key outside the free, back to Dirks, and Dirks to Knight. Knight misses his shot. Nielsen leaving the ball, and it is Falcons' ball.
Yeah, Knight had a mismatch there on Luke Nielsen, but wasn't able to take advantage of it. And Threat has forced another blocking foul.
And Pacers are on the Falcons are on the bonus now.
Yeah. Ivan Platnick is into his double-double already. 18 points and 10 rebounds as Threat picks up another point. That takes him to 13. Makes his 14. Falcons out to a 65-31 lead. Jason Dirks, 2 points. Platnick to Arkell. Arkell, 2 points good and the foul.
Arkell's looking to make this shot.
Okay, and we have a technical foul as well against Michael Petridis there for Whittlesea. Now, Chris Arkell is not the person that you want to send to the foul line. (66-33). It's gone out to a 30-point lead.
Arkell probably, he's very good at his foul line shots.
Still predicting between 10 and 20 point.
Maybe
game.
a bit more.
Maybe a bit more.
Maybe 40.
Our cameraman agrees there.
Yep.
As Threat restarts it, so it's out to 70 points. And Bridgewater, great move under the basket.
Have we
Ball
seen a
goes
jam
in and out.
yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Does Boyle jam?
Oh, yes. As Jason Dirks drives, and the foul has been found, I think, again on Tom Boyle.
I'm not sure if that was foul. Looks like he was standing still.
It's his third foul. Jason Dirks misses his first. Gets his second. And there's a sub there with Matthew Dirks going off and Petroro coming on. It's for Whittlesea.
And we have Campbell bringing the ball up. And he's found, no he hasn't, he's found the pass to Bridgewater to Boyle, and Arkell misses his free.
Jason Dirks driving hard, gets it down to Chris Knight. Chris Knight misses, but mopping up the spoils is Brendan Hughes. 2 points to Whittlesea, 70-36. 4 minutes, just on 4 minutes to go as Threat goes himself.
Threat tries to reply to that shot, but can't.
And Boyle picks up the foul. That's his fourth. He'll be sitting down.
And we'll say bye-bye to Boyle on the bench. He might, nah.
No, he's still there.
Yeah.
Coach Andy Sherwell has got confidence that he can play with 4 fouls.
Fret, he normally gets sometimes 4 fouls, and when 120's dad.
So Dirk's not able to take advantage of that foul. Adrian Campbell moves the ball to Arkell. Bridgewater's inside, the ball goes into him. He'll go himself, and there it is. In and out, in and out. As Petroro brings the ball down. Campbell playing D up on him. The ball skipped very quickly through hands to Knight. Now there's Jason Dirks going to the basket, and Chris Arkell fouls. So Jason Dirks for 2 shots. Missed his last 2, but has made this one.
Yeah, he's a bit of a he's a good shooter outside the line, but when you put him on the line, he's not the best shooter. This time he's made 2.
Campbell marshalling the troops. They're running a high set. They've isolated Bridgewater. Bridgewater back to Campbell into Platnick.
Platnick doing the same shot as before and makes it.
So he's replaced Tom Boyle. And almost an identical move there from Riley Johnson. Sees the Whittlesea Pacers get up to 40 points. Great move there from Bridgewater and Nielsen, and then a fantastic block from Dirks. And Petroro throws the ball away. Here come the Falcons again. Ali Granger for 3, doesn't go this time.
Platnick just misses.
Misses, and Bridgewater picks up the spoils and draws another foul from the Whittlesea Pacers. So 3-point play to Bridgewater there. Knight. It's got a screen. Nice move there between from Johnson. Bridgewater. 76-40. It's gone out to a 36-point gap there.
Yep.
Hugh?
Yep.
Falcons in a zone.
Knight and finds a pass and a miss. Platnick passes off to Campbell, who can dribble the ball up the court.
That was bad, quite bad D there from Ali Granger!
Granger for a free.
And down the other end. Just a 2-point down the other end. Platnick's shot doesn't go. Now it's Knight. Knight into Hughes. Hughes 2 points.
Not many seconds left. Falcons can't, and they're not going to be able to wait for the siren because of their shot clock.
Granger for 3.
Now they can, and another shot by Granger for 3.
15.
Oh, Granger, he was actually the coach of the team that they played today.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Fantastic. It's great to see. It's great to see the Falcons players actually supporting the junior programs.
Huh?
There's some shootout. Do you want to do it or not?
It's great to see the guys supporting the junior programs. We have quite a number of the Falcons coaches, Falcons players, I should say, coaching junior teams. Claire Lanby, Adrian Andrew Kelly, although he's playing for Chelsea, but has been a Falcons player for many years. Of course, Elias Palianis himself, who's not only a coach of the 18s, the under 18 girls and the 14-1 girls, but he's also a he's also the director of coaching for the girls program itself. And quite a number of the other players are also out there and involved as well. So it's fantastic to see as we're coming into the fourth period. Waverley up by 82-44. As we've had a change of commentary position here. And Canberra people. Good stuff. All right, so we all ready to go, guys?
Yep.
Yep. Fantastic. And next time out, we'll get our commentary team to run through the stats for you. As Ivan Platnick, almost a foul there.
And out of court, we have one of the Dirks brothers taking it in.
So Jason Dirks inside to Riley Johnson. Riley Johnson bounced it off his own foot, and it's a turnover to the Falcons. Ali Granger bringing the ball down. He's got trying to get the ball to Nielsen, but Chris Petroro managed to get his fingertips on it. Campbell back to Granger. Granger drives, is blocked.
And blocked.
I think he was looking to get the ball into Bridgewater there. There's 8 seconds on the clock.
Falcons ball.
It's gone to Campbell. Campbell drives, floats the ball up, doesn't
And
go.
misses. Bridgewater's got it and gets it.
Bridgewater hasn't got many shots in. He hasn't even had many shots. And then we also have Platnick with heaps of shots, 20 shot points, and then we have Dirk, with
Jason Dirks, yeah.
12 points.
Chris Knight pulls up, can't get the shot in. The rebound to Bridgewater, back to Granger.
Yeah.
Sees Platnick under the basket, and
And
2
we
points.
scored. Platnick is now on 20 points. 22 points.
Granger defending Petroro. Ball's gone down to Riley Johnson. Back out to Falk, who's back on the floor again. Jason Dirks can't get the ball to
Can't
drop.
get it.
It's very quick. Granger's under the basket. 2 points. Great pass from Campbell. Good vision there. And a great run there from Granger. All the town of Nelson's rising to their feet, waving those little flags around.
Back to Dirks for a free and misses.
Another rebound to Platnick.
Granger passes off.
Campbell. And looking.
Okay.
And
Pass it
fake.
Zitter to Bridgewater. Back to Campbell for the 3.
Campbell
misses.
Foul on
And a
Platnick.
foul. Platnick just running past him and just randomly has his arms out and fouls.
So Coach Andy Sherwell rings the changes. Elias Palianis back on the court, along with Tom Boyle. Tom Boyle sitting on 4 fouls. This could be quite a short period of time for him.
Chris. Knights has it. And
Knights
he shoots
Doesn't
from
go.
the other. Doesn't go.
Platnick
Good defense then from Tom Boyle.
finds the pass to Nielsen.
Gets
Cunningham to Platnick. Platnick can't quite. And a shot. Now on 24 points, Ivan Platnick.
And a timeout to the Whittlesea Pacers. Coach Rossmore wants to have a bit of a chat, and we'll be back in a very short period of time. Okay, and we're back, and
Yep.
let's have a look at some of the summary figures for the game.
For 3 points, the Falcons are on 29%. For fouls, they are on 12. And for field goals, they are on 47%.
Yeah, so the thing to notice there is the number of shots that the Falcons have put up compared to the Pacers. The Pacers have put up 59, Falcons 70 shots. Same amount of time, folks. That gives you an idea of how much possession the Falcons have actually had as we restart the game with the Pacers in control of the ball.
Knights has it. Passes it off. Over,
Back out to Falk. Falk can't
Nielsen with the turnover.
Over the green.
Granger.
Platnick. And it's out.
So Ali Granger sitting down.
And so is Nielsen.
Arkell and Threat back on the court.
Platnick, the flat shooter, makes
one
yeah.
out of two.
And we have one of the bearded people.
Number 15.
Fret.
Petrides.
Petrides.
Arkell for free.
Doesn't go.
Oh, just misses there.
Knights has it, passes it off to Falk.
Palianos gets a rebound and the crowd goes absolutely wild.
3.
And now we have a charge this time against Sedell Threat. He doesn't argue it. Little bit of quizzical look there at the ref, but he doesn't argue it too much.
Dirks has it. Passes it off. Knights has it right now. No, oh, is it? Knights has it. Can he make it?
Knights
goes in and out.
Yeah. Another rebound to Platnick.
Can he make it? Oh.
And this time Threat goes to the basket.
Foul.
Yeah. This time no charge. It's again a foul against Riley Johnson. Again, Threat, not somebody to put at the line. Gets his first. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that tomorrow at 2:30 we have the state champ women's game. Waverley versus Ringwood. This is first versus fourth. Should be a cracker game. And of course the Falcons.
He looks for Knight.
Falcons in a bit of a hole at the moment, having lost Bridget Ardrossi for the season. Bridget injured.
Doesn't just shoot the ball.
Bridget injured, is going in for some surgery.
Out of court, Knight.
And is not likely to be ready for the rest of the season.
Fret ends up with it. Some nice moves there by Fret. And a charge.
Yeah, the elbow came out. Push off in the end. Petroro was falling backwards at that particular point in time, and Sedell's arm just followed him. Don't think there was any real contact in that, Hugh. Did you see?
No. Well, number 5 after he come.
Falk has it.
Yep.
Sorry about that, Hugh. Just missed that. What were we saying?
Number 5 after he came up to Fret, and I don't know what he did, but yeah, and the umpire was talking to him just before.
Yeah.
Platnick, a long pass down to and
Pelianis.
Fret. Yep, Pelianis.
Back into Platnick. Platnick spins, goes to the basket, but is fouled. 44, Petrides would be pretty ropeable at this point in time, because that was a great block from Petrides. but that foul there on Chris Petroro has put Ivan at the line.
Platnick has made his first shot. Can he make his second one? And he makes it again. This is very good. He's made 2 free shots.
95-44.
And we have the subs coming on. No. Yep.
Granger. Back on, and Bridgewater. As Arkell goes to the bucket.
Pacers have a 51. The Falcons have a 53-point lead at the moment.
Knight nearly makes that shot.
Off to Knight.
Knight against
Knight
Bridgewater.
decides to make it, but he gets blocked.
Yeah, great help defense there from Tom Boyle. Saw that Knight was actually turning the corner around Bridgewater, stepped in and closed the gate on him.
The two tall players, Bridgewater and Boyle. Boyle being 1 centimetre taller than Bridgewater. Knight.
No, it's off to Falk. Can they make it?
Boyle has fouled out.
Is that 5 fouls?
Yeah, there's 5 fouls on
That's
Tommy
5
Boyle.
fouls. What about Fret?
Riley Johnson is at the line at the moment.
Luke Nielsen, coming on in his place. Platnick also getting ready, I think, to come out for a little cameo.
How many fouls is Sidel Fret on?
4, I think.
Yeah.
Falcons have possession. Just going easily by Nielsen.
Into Bridgewater. Bridgewater will...
Bridgewater. Oh, and he just throws it out.
Yeah, so Riley Johnson just able to get the hand on the top of the ball there as Bridgewater went up to the basket.
And Granger, oh no,
Passes
Nielsen.
off to
decides to
Nielsen.
pass it and falls over
Arkell
as well.
drives, pulls up and is fouled. Yeah.
Arkell is on the line.
And both teams on 4 fouls.
The Falcons have a 40. The
Arkell,
Falcons have a 50-point lead over the Pacers at the moment.
Falcons have actually hit the 100 points quite a number of times this season. I'd like to go back and actually see exactly how many times they have, but
The game before this,
certainly the
hit
games.
100.
Yeah, certainly the games this season have been able to get there.
what's Chris Arkell's percentage for foul shots?
90%, 100%.
That's big. And
That's
as well
perfect.
as Nielsen.
Off to Bridgewater.
And there's Arkell.
Okay.
He puts it in again. So Falcons have hit the ton yet again.
101.
So it's a 53-point game to the Falcons as Ali Granger puts his hand in and fouls.
And it looked like he was doing a bit of a dance there.
Refs have been very, very consistent on this. And the rule is now that the refs, if you put 2 hands on the player, it will be an immediate foul. And if you don't take the hand off the hip, if you don't take the hand off, it'll also be a foul as well. So that's the interpretation they've been told to ref to.
The 100% foul shot shooters are Luke Nielsen and Chris Arkell.
as Nielsen picks up that great, we'll call it a pass from Palianis, and converts it into a goal. Ali Granger playing good defence there. The shot from Damien O'Keefe, no good, but it's rebounded by the Falcons.
Passes it off.
There's Arkell under the basket.
Kel.
Passes it off. Can they get the three?
And
Oh,
the
swish.
Now that's the first score for the Whittlesea in a couple of possessions. So here's Bridgewater, doesn't go in. Bit bemused he didn't get the foul.
And off and up, back down for a rebound, and back to 22 out.
Can they?
Palianis nearly got the ball off number 14.
It's gone into Knight. Knight scores.
What a goal.
What a goal.
Nielsen
has it.
Under 50 seconds to go.
Passes it off. Oh!
And who was that? That was Ali Granger. Again, Ali Granger.
Granger's doing very well this game.
12 points.
Ali Granger is 67% for his 3-point shooting.
Palianis into Bridgewater. Bridgewater over to Granger. Granger, 3 points!
Granger again.
Granger likes his shots.
Number 5, waiting for the clock.
Falk.
And that's full time, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Waverley Falcons basketball, the Waverley Basketball Stadium, with the Falcons getting up 110 to 55. They've done a little bit more, 56, sorry, 111 to 56. And thank you to the guys from the Ashley Basketball Club who have done their support stuff there on the courts and on camera today. So we'll thank you all, and we'll catch you tomorrow at for the Champ Women's Game, 2:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. See you then.